middle of summer here in southeast Texas. We're heading out to a new ranch that we haven't hunted before. It's only about 2 hours from our house, which makes it pretty convenient for a quick weekend getaway. We've got Dylan from Dylan Manufacturing coming in. Travis from Manny Custom Taxidermy is going to be in camp as well. We got Adam coming out of Dallas, obviously us, a couple other guys that we're just starting to work with. So pretty excited to get out to this new place. Never been here before. We're in pursuit of axis, nilgai, rams, any number of different critters that they've got out on the ranch. Just like I said, really excited to go out and explore a new place with our family and friends. For some reason, we feel compelled that this is the weekend to do it. It's only 100 degrees, and packing in that box blind tonight's really going to be a treat. So we've got our battery-powered fans packed, and we'll be in camp here fairly quickly, probably 5 or 10 minutes, and get unpacked, sight in the rifles, and we'll be out hunting later this afternoon. So we're about an hour and a half north of Houston, heading out for the evening hunt. It's a property that we've never been to before. We spent all afternoon driving around the place, just scoping it out, formulating a game plan. We saw a ton of axis as we were, just meandering through the property. Really optimistic about tonight's hunt and this weekend. It's the middle of summer, the axis are in full rut, and it's about 100 degrees. Fortunate enough for us, about 2 hours ago, we did have a front come through and cool it off just a bit. But that humidity is starting to build back and that temperature is starting to rise. So we're going to be 3 wide in a box blind tonight. Looking forward to it. It's going to be hot, but based on the number of animals that we're seeing, we are really optimistic about a shot opportunity this evening. We pivoted. We had talked about in our interview that we were going to get up in a box blind, and obviously there's one out in front of us. Not a Dylan, but soon will be. And as we approached this field, there were a bunch of axis that were out early, grazing off to the right, and they just eased off to the left. So we left the buggy about, 200 yards behind us, just eased up this wood line. And when we got here, there were still a bunch of fallow in the field, but the axis seemed to have eased off. First stalk of the night, can't complain. We did see a potential shooter in there. I'd like to get a better look at him from a little bit closer. We had him at about 500 yards, but we can make that shot, but to size him and judge him, I'd like to be a little closer than that. So we're gonna sit tight, give it a minute or two. Maybe they pop back out from the tree line they went into. If not, we'll head back to the buggy and maybe work another spot. Straight through the gap. You're still peeking there too. Mm-hmm. If he'd come in that clear right there.
He is, he's right there right now.
Yeah, but I can't get a range on him.
Isn't that dark?
Yeah, that's way too dark. I can't even pick him up in the rifle scope. So we've got a big axis that, we were perched up on this hill, actually right out of the back of camp. We rode around all day, and we looked back behind us and there were a group of axis across the pond. And now we've got a big one. He's tucked into the trees, and where he's at, it's too dark to try to fit a shot in there. We're hopeful if he could take probably 5 or 6 steps forward and show himself a little bit, I think we'd have a shot. But he's right at 300 yards. We've got a good rest. It's just a matter of making the camera light work more than anything else. So. Dude, I can't even see him.
Still in those shadows.
So we're wrapping up a great first night. It's a new property, like I've said a number of times, just overly impressed. The number of animals we've seen, the accommodations, the food, it's all been spectacular. Had a great hunt this evening, just unfortunately couldn't get anything on the ground. Saw a number of axis, saw a toad of a black buck, and as we were working back into camp here to greet some of the guys that came in later, we looked back behind us and just saw a couple monsters in the trees. Unfortunately, just ran out of shooting light. That does happen. Obviously, we lose the cameras lose light a lot sooner than we do as hunters. But if you guys can't see it, we're not going to pull the trigger. So tomorrow's a new day. Adam's in camp with us. He just got here. We've got a spot picked out for him first thing in the morning. I'm going to do the same. So we're going to go our separate ways. But based on what we've seen this first night, we've got high hopes for tomorrow morning.
This segment is brought to you by Dillon Manufacturing, building blinds, towers, and feeders that will last a lifetime. This segment is brought to you by Diligent Defense. We make kick-ass suppressors from high-quality materials. Range days, hunting trips, or tactical shooting, we have you covered.
So we're back out this morning. We pulled a little bit of an audible. We got to the box blind where we were going to sit, and it just didn't feel right. I didn't like the angle, so Chris and I decided to, hey, let's not sit there and push it. So we eased back down this road about 200 yards. We're just set up in the middle of the road, sitting on the cooler, got the gun on the bog pod, and hopefully something will come out. We've got a nice fog layer this morning, provided us enough cover to get away from that box blind and just ease back down this road and get set up. So I don't think we spooked anything. We're already starting to see some movement behind me, but pretty optimistic for the day. We've got Adam and Matt across the property sitting in a big box. And we saw a ton of axis in there last night, so hopefully they're going to be successful, as are we. But wish us luck. A lot of daylight left. So we just eased up about another 100 yards into this field. As the fog broke, we saw that there was a little bit of a rise, so we could just see the tops of their backs, nothing else. So we eased up, like I said, about 100 yards, kind of put the terrain in our favor, tucked into some trees here, and we're set up, ready to go. We've got some fallow out in front of us, but we're hearing axes roaring all around us. Just a matter of time, I think, before they come into this field. But we're set up, we're ready for them. Hopefully, one of them wants to be a movie star today. So we just left camp. We're going to ease up in this field about 400 or 500 yards. We had a couple other guys that were out hunting and called and said, hey, there's a big herd of axis here. I think you guys need to come check them out. So like we always do, we got about 45 people in tow with us, but whatever, it's cool. It's a group event, family event. We love this stuff, so if you're not hunting with your family and friends, you got to reevaluate what you're doing. So we got into our spot. We're actually back at the lodge, which is, 500 or 600 yards from here. We had some other guys that were out hunting, and they were looking at some animals, and as they were coming back to the lodge to just get out of the field, they spotted 5 or 6 big axis right here to our left and told us about them. Well, instead of loading up in the buggy and getting up in the box blind, we could, grabbed our crew and, worked up here nice and quiet, worked the shadows, actually got down in a little dry riverbed and had plenty of cover to get here. And now we're posted up in the shade. We've got the breeze in our face. The original plan was we were going to get up in this box, but it's totally exposed out in the sun, and candidly, it's 105 degrees out. I'm not doing that to myself. So we're set up on the sticks. We've had animals out in front. Actually had a couple nice fallow out in front of us. Just we're not hunting fallow, we're hunting axis deer. So hopefully the axis that these guys saw that spooked off will come back in and give us a shot opportunity. But I like where we're at. I like the spot. And just give us time. I mean, we got a couple hours of daylight left, and if everything comes together, we're going to get one on the ground.
This segment's brought to you by Baku Bikes. Elevate your game. Tree Limb Products Premium Series Bow Quivers. And Sword Sights, cutting the competition. This segment's brought to you by Element Outdoors, where technology meets comfort. Reveal cellular cameras, with data plans starting as low as $5 a month. And Tacticam, share your hunt.
We're set up on the sticks. We've had animals out in front. Actually had a couple nice fallow out in front of us. Just we're not hunting fallow, we're hunting axis deer. So hopefully the axis that these guys saw that spooked off will come back in and give us a shot opportunity. But I like where we're at. I like the spot. And just give us time. I mean, we got a couple hours of daylight left, and if everything comes together, we're going to get one on the ground.
That's the one that we saw this morning. Tell me when you're ready.
All right.
That one clears on the Buckman. Yep.
Hold.
Wait.
There's does behind him. Now you're...
Nope.
Good.
So we just got a shot at an axis. They were working off the right coming in. We had a big one. His coddles aren't the longest, but he's by far the biggest one in the herd. He's right at 200 yards. We put it on that front shoulder and hit him. Obviously heard the impact. He ran off. So pretty excited about the opportunity to go in there and get him. It came together quick. We worked a plan tonight. We came out of camp, walked about 500 or 600 yards into this spot, got set up on the sticks, and obviously we've got multiple camera angles, and it's working. It's hot, but that wind's in our face. We had a ton of animals out in front of us, so we're going to give him about 30-45 minutes. Just let him do his thing, and we're going to ease up in there. We saw him go into that wood line straight away from us. Just no point to rush it at this point. We've got probably an hour and a half left for the light. We don't have to get on him that quick. So let's just let him get uncomfortable, get tucked up in those trees, and we'll ease up there and go grab him here in a minute.
Where's the last blood?
Back by that tree. So it's a hot and sweaty day down here in Texas. We put the work in today. There's no doubt. Temperature's well over 100 degrees. We started out first thing this morning. Got on a couple animals, just nothing that we wanted to take a swing at. And this afternoon, you know, things just unfolded the right way. And we had some guys coming back to camp telling us that they saw some animals out in this field. We worked a plan, stalked about 600 yards, got in, and got a shot at just over 200. He ran into this wood line here to my left, and luckily we were able to recover him after dark. Obviously we're doing it with the lights, and it's late at night, but the shot looked good on camera. We just wanted to back out, give it a little bit of time before we went in after him, and when in doubt, back out. We did the right thing and walked right in on him and recovered him. Can't wait to get him in the skinning shed, cool off a little bit, and get a good night's rest. So nothing like sleeping in, and I'm looking forward to it.
This segment's brought to you by Manning Custom Taxidermy. This segment's brought to you by Orange Corn Company.
Well, we're out here this morning. It's late July. It's hot. Out here axis hunting. Our nemesis, if you will. We actually had a good herd coming in the front of us by about 10 or 15. I had one mature axis that was debatable shooter. I mean, we really looked at him hard and heavy. We looked back behind us and it was an absolute monster. And that's what we're after. We're after the big mature animals. So we're just sitting watching him, and if you've ever hunted axis or know anything about them, they are the most spooky animals ever, probably. Don't know what it was. It wasn't mad at myself, but something spooked them and they ran off. So, and then of course, the potential shooter in front of us, he walks off in the meantime while we're looking at the big guy. So we're just sitting there being patient and persistent, and they are moving around right now. So hopefully another big boy will come out. But overall, it's been a successful day for sure. I've seen a bunch of animals, seen a lot of movement. So hopefully we can keep this going. It's an axis buck. I think so. Here, you see him? No, but he's right there at the same place. Do you see him? Yeah. Well, I just finally, I smoked this axis. He was about 265 yards. I'm not going to say he was the biggest axis in the world, but he was good size. Had a lot of mass on him. You know, at this point, I'm just happy to finally get one on the ground. So, punched him, hit him, he dropped, and then I took his running gear out from under him and he got up and ran off in the woods a little bit. So we're going to give him a few minutes, let him, you know, do what he's got to do, give ourselves a few minutes where we can catch our breath. But finally got one, so super excited.
So we just got out of the blind, about to go get our hands on our axis. Looking back at the footage, solid shot, hit him right in the pocket, so he shouldn't be going far, so I'm super excited. This has been an animal that's been a real struggle for me for whatever reason. I can pretty much hunt anything else, but these axes have been giving me the slip for years, so this is a good day in my book, so super excited to get my hands on him. You want to hold it?
Yeah.
Whoa, dude, he's a lot nicer than I thought. All right, so we're out here in East Texas. It's the end of July. It's hot, you know, so chasing these axes. I've been chasing these guys for several years now and have struck out every time. Either I don't have the shot or the camera can't get on. It's been a big ordeal. So this is kind of a big relief for me to get this guy off my chest. I'm super excited to have him. He's absolutely beautiful. He's not the biggest, but we were looking for a mature animal, and he fits every category we're looking for. It's a great weekend. You know, out here hunting with my best friends in the world, you know, trying to get away from life in general, just normal stress. What better way to do it than come out and hunt with your buddies? It's truly a good thing to have good friends, and being outdoors, it couldn't get any better.